are you wanting to have like a wedding? Like not saying like to get married and sign a contract.
Waste of money.
But
Yeah, you think
Waste
this
of
guy's
money.
spending money on
party.
Waste of money.
I don't know. One day you're gonna actually get married. Like, that's mine.
Because I feel like the only
if
kind
she's
of woman
rich,
that you're going to be interested in,
prenup.
Brian, is going to be, I feel like the only type of woman you would feel happy settling for, not just settling for, but being with, is a woman who takes things like marriage. Like, I just don't see you with a woman who's like atheist and wouldn't want to get married or like something like that.
I'm
Unless
not
you
sure,
see that
though.
for
You
You can
yourself.
be
I could
religious and
wrong.
not want to get married.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
religious and not want to get married.
I
Anything
don't,
like that.
but okay, so this kind of like if I can almost tie this into promiscuity, virginity, low body count a little bit, but so you're saying that the type of woman that I would be attracted to is likely to be religious.
Yeah, I just feel like I mean,
disagree because okay, well let's say one of my standards or preferences or
I mean,
boundaries.
maybe I just don't know you that well, but
Maybe you don't, but
probably not.
well, I think this idea that like conservative women or religious women have some like exclusive claim to virginity or non-promiscuity is kind of fallacious and
Salacious.
no, I think it's erroneous because I think you can be a liberal or moderate or apolitical woman or even an atheist and have desirable traits and values, at least when it comes to like non-promiscuity, not having a low body count, or even being a virgin. Now, do I think it's maybe the case that liberal women compared to conservative women, they're more likely to engage, like be
I would
promiscuous?
just say it's more likely.
Probably, but then there are a fair amount of conservative women who they be fucking too. So, but I would say generally probably conservative women are probably lean more towards like non-promiscuity, virginity, low body count, etc. So I don't think, like, just bringing it back to what you said, I don't think that in order for me to find the type of girl that I want, she necessarily has to be conservative,
no, definitely not.
or
It's
religious.
just more likely. It's just honestly, especially today, I just genuinely think it's just more likely that she'll probably end up being religious and then probably care to get married. It's just like my guess.
I mean, a lot of religious women, though, they got a past.
I'm not saying I'm not saying all girls who are religious or conservative are not promiscuous. I'm not saying all girls that are liberal or atheist are sluts. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's more. I mean, I've just found this personally in my own life. Like the closer I've gotten the more religious I've become over time, the more like obvious and clear it is that promiscuity is bad and doesn't serve me in the ways that maybe I felt like I was taught growing up.
Yeah, it might be easier for me to find a partner that matches or meets my criteria or whatever, who's religious. A religious woman might be more likely to fall within my criteria. Actually, speaking of which, Lily, last time you were on the show...
I already know what you're about to ask me.
Yes, last time you were on the show. So, okay, you're Christian conservative, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You, and last time on the show, you said you're waiting until marriage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. But you said that I think you were on the show a month ago.
Yeah,
maybe?
that I had a miss up.
You had a miss up.
Yes, I did.
It's a mess up.
Like I made a promise to myself in the Lord months ago that I was gonna save myself for marriage and start over and look for the man that I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with. And then there was a mistake. And I mean, admitting that I don't find shame in it either. To also
Wait, so you made a mistake?
I slept with somebody in the time period that I promised that I wouldn't.
Promise.
And I made a mistake and I'm sinful and I regret it. And of course I regret it because I made a promise to myself. I made a promise to the Lord. But
any updates? We asked, because I told you need to come back on in a month or two and give us an update. If you've stayed true.
I have stayed true.
You've stayed true. Okay.
Why do you think that happened? What do you think influenced that for you?
It was an ex-boyfriend, right?
Oh, yes. And a lot of things just throughout my life. I feel like I've been seen as an object, being a woman, being somewhat attractive, and any relationship that I've ever been in or dated men, even on the internet, like getting direct messages and comments and stuff. I don't know, I feel like an object, and I don't want the person that I'm gonna be with to see me like that. And if they are wanting to be with me as a soul and take care of who I am as a person, they are going to be willing to wait.
Wait, I'm a little confused. What is the object thing that you're talking about? I'm a little confused.
Like a sexual
Like
object.
you view yourself
no,
as an object?
men
No.
view me as a sexual object.
And how that
Wait,
They
why?
they
How?
objectify me.
How so?
They,
Like the
they
men
view
you-
me as
the-
a body and a meat bag and not as a person who has a
Even
soul.
wait, are you talking about the men you've had relationships with?
Yes.
Even the men you've had sex with and who you've had relationships with, they view you as a meatbag?
Absolutely. I've been in relationships with men who were
They-
narcissists
they
and
say that?
It's not the
sociopaths.
first time I've heard
And
that.
they might not
Yeah.
say that directly to you, but when you're in a relationship with somebody for 3 years and they're a sociopath, they say it in as many ways as
Yeah,
they
I
possibly
heard a
can
little-
without saying it straight up.
I had a
Yikes.
little guy that was like that. A little. It was like a
Little
little thing.
guy.
Well, a little guy. It was like a little
little
thing.
man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
A situationship.
a shit situation.
A shit-
yeah.
shit
A
situation.
situation. That's a good one.
A
Situation.
shitty shit situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you
and
had,
I've been there within situationships or
Disavow.
just dating
I
somebody
disavow.
and you find this trust with them and you're sleeping with them and you think that there's a commitment and all of a sudden there's not. Because they're
Disavow.
a lot of men
Wait.
are using you and they're
For
tempted
sex.
So
by
you-
lust with other things.
sorry, I didn't want to
No, it's
interrupt
okay.
you. So you had been a virgin up until a few months ago when you.
No, I was born again. People say
Oh,
like
okay.
in Christian terms, like
Wait,
born again.
when did you lose your virginity? At what age?
I'm not sure. I don't want to disclose that,
sure.
honestly.
Okay, that's fine.
That's personal.
I mean, I totally relate to what you're saying as far as men viewing you as an object. That's why I was celibate pretty much for years before I
Yeah.
met my boyfriend.
But you
Whether-
found somebody that loves you and wants to
yeah,
cherish
well, and that's
you.
why,
Yeah.
like, obviously it changed, and he's wonderful. So I didn't want to wait till marriage. It wasn't like that for me. But I wanted to find somebody that respected me and would wait and would hold out and wanted and liked me
And
as
you
a
trust
person.
him.
Exactly,
Yeah.
wanted me as a person because. Like, you can't tell a lot of the time, and then when you do withhold it, you see, like, over those 2 years, the amount of
sometimes it
men I
happens
would
with your-
date.
yeah.
They're like, "What do you mean? What do you mean I don't get to sleep? What do you mean?" And I'm
They
like,
feel like entitled to
your
your
body.
body.
Yes.
Wait,
Because
wait, wait. Can you just the entitled to your body thing? Are you saying within a relationship?
"Yeah,
Or-
yes."
in a relationship or even when you're just starting to date somebody. I've
Yeah.
been on dates with men only like a couple weeks in and they are assuming that it is they're getting something out of me. I'm like, dude,
And the amount of pressure that some of the men will put on you
And
is so
shame-
like
shame.
it was actually insane when I did like when I went celibate how much pressure was put
And you
on
don't
me with
realize
men I
until
was
you are
dating.
celibate.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
then you like make it clear and they're like, what again? What do
you set a
mean?
boundary and they get angry with
Wait,
you.
Yeah,
just
setting
one point
boundaries
of
is like-
clarification for the two of you.
Sure.
When you both opted to become celibate, were you in the middle of a relationship?
No,
Oh, okay.
I've been single for a while.
Okay, because like, I mean, if you were previously like got into a relationship,
And I was
he
sleeping with
had
the
a-
person and
he
all of a
had an
sudden
stopped.
expectation.
Yes,
No, not
because,
that at all.
I mean,
Like that
personally, I
you
view
guys were
dating as
bisexual
a,
and then-
pathway to marriage. And so, I mean, you kind of, when you take something that you was already in the relationship away,
That's different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was more so
Sure.
after a relationship had ended, and then I kind of like looked back on my relationships and my past experiences, and I was like, I really don't like the way that certain situationships have made me feel, and I don't feel the need to go and sleep with people, like especially
To
at
get
the
some kind
beginning.
of validation
so,
or something, yeah.
Right. So I was like, I'm just gonna make this decision to really start actually dating somebody and see if they actually want to get to know me, and then if not, fuck off.
yeah.
Mm.
Do you think that when you were in your like early, especially the early stages of your like relationships with men, where you were feeling objectified, do you think like the guys that you were seeing might have been more likely to objectify you because they knew what you were doing for work?
No, because I was in a relationship prior to my OnlyFans, and then I started OnlyFans. I maybe had dated one person from that point on until I went celibate, because I've only done OnlyFans for 3 years, and I was celibate for 2. So, and I like, even when I was sleeping with people, it wasn't like a nightly thing or something I was going out and seeking. It was very much so like situationships. I've very, very, very rarely in my life have had like one night stands or slept with people that I wasn't in some sort of like talking stage, relationship pursuing stage for me. So I would say no, because I wasn't really like, I dated men, I guess,
when I was celibate, and they kind of just treated me the same as the men that I had dated prior to me starting OnlyFans. I think that they were just objectifying me to begin with well before I started anything like that.